Based in Wichita, Kansas, Cessna Aircraft Company is the world's largest manufacturer of private aircraft. The company is well known for its advanced and innovative aircraft models that can cover different kinds of tasks. Cessna began its operations by building smaller propeller-driven aircraft for the private pilot market, and then the company expanded into the manufacturing of corporate jets. The company has since become the leading private jet manufacturer in the industry. At the age of 31, its owner, Clyde V. Cessna, witnessed an aerial exhibition in Kansas that sparked his interests in aircrafts. He designed and built his own airplanes and taught himself to fly. These qualities of dedication and courage not only made him successful in aviation, but also introduced the pleasures of private flying to thousands of people. He laid out the design of general aviation aircraft and the early monoplane design. From the iconic Cessna 172 to the multi-purpose and classic Cessna 182, the company has produced some of the friendliest and famous aircrafts that everyone loves. Talking about 182 Skylane, it was introduced in 1956 and has been produced in many variants, including a version with the retractable landing gear. It is the second most popular Cessna model still in production after the 172. At sports awards, there's a trophy for Best All-Around Performance, signifying an individual who excelled in nothing but always finished near the top in many disciplines. If there were such a prize handed out for aircraft design, then 182 Skylane would undoubtedly win it. In this video, we will take a deep look into why everyone loves Cessna 182 Skylane so much. Before we get into that, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. It helps us a lot with the YouTube algorithm and lets us know that we are helping to enrich lives out there. If you are into aviation, have a look at our new aviation compilation channel, Aviation Central. It is the first link in the description. We would highly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's begin the video. The Cessna 182 was introduced in 1956 as a tricycle gear variant of the 180. It found its origin when the company was doing what it was best at. In 1957, the 182A variant was introduced along with the name Skylane. As production continued, later models were improved regularly with features such as a wider fuselage, swept tail fin with a rear omnivision window, enlarged baggage compartment, higher gross weights, landing gear changes, and many more. The variants built after 1996 differed in many other details, including a different engine and new seating design. Cessna 182 Skylane has one of the longest production runs for any general aviation aircraft. It has been produced in a whopping 23 innovative variants. So from this, we can understand how much people love the Cessna 182 Skylane. Like most first-year airplanes, the first Cessna 182 wasn't all it should have been. So the 182A had made some remarkable improvements, like its gear widened 5.4 inches and lowered by 4 inches, changing the level ground attitude to 7 degrees nose up to vastly improve landing handling in a crosswind. The steel spring's thickness was also increased. No doubt, the 182A was a vast improvement over the straight 182. The 1958 variant of 182A added a rudder trim bungee to relieve leg pressure in long climbs. Cessna 182 got its second name Skylane in 1958. In 1959, 182B was introduced with cowl flaps. Then Cessna built the 182C and D, which carried a swept fin and a third side window, but kept the straight-back fuselage. For 1961, a twist key starter replaced the earlier push button. But in 1962, the company decided to make some significant changes to the upcoming 182 Skylane variants. The cabin was widened by 4 inches, an electric flap switch and fuel valve pedestal replaced the old manual flap handle and floor tunnel, and a back window was fitted into a cutaway aft fuselage. The new flat floor interior was so spacious. To restore stability with the enlarged cabin, an elevator downspring was needed, and a conventional elevator trim tab replaced the adjustable stabilizer. Optional 84-gallon fuel tanks were made available, quickly supplanting the old 65-gallon tanks. For 1962 and 1963, the 182E and F had a two-piece rear window. In 1965, a 10-inch wider tail was introduced, and in 1966, a ram's horn control wheel was incorporated. 1967 Skylanes had a shorter nose gear strut and smaller flashing beacon. 1968 Cessna 182 introduced a pre-select flap switch and standard T-flight instruments, and 1969 had optional electroluminescent panel lighting. The company decided to make the prominent upgrades to the 1970 182N model. Gross weight was increased to 2,950 pounds, and the spring steel gear was swapped for tapered tubular steel legs that allowed more fore and aft movement. In 1972, to improve low-speed handling, a leading-edge cuff was added to the wing of the 182P variant, a variant that stayed in production through 1976. The dorsal fin was extended, and the cowling was shock-mounted. In 1981, the 182R got another gross weight boost to 3,100 pounds and an increase in standard fuel capacity. The bladders were dropped in 1978 because customers thought they were useless. The Cessna 182 Skylane also switched over to a 28-volt electrical system. In 1997, when Cessna re-entered the market, it introduced a newly innovated Skylane in the market. The biggest change was dropping the reliable 0470 for a 230 HP Lycoming IO540AB1A5. It isn't a surprise because Cessna and Lycoming share the same parent company, Textron. Cosmetically, Cessna got rid of the old Royalite instrument panels, replacing them with painted metal. The interior seats and cabin panels are much improved, and the interior surfaces are now treated with epoxy-based anti-corrosion materials. These upgrades and improvements are the reason why it is one of the most built aircraft in the world. Compared to its little sister Skyhawk, the Skylane has a longer range and can fly at higher speeds. Nevertheless, it comes into its own on shorter routes, and it is particularly suitable for domestic flights or trips to the border zone of a neighboring country. Business trips are often made on these short routes, so the Cessna 182 Skylane is a very popular means of transport for up to 3 people. The length of 182 is 29 feet, and the height is 9 feet. To get water out of the system, the airplane has no fewer than 12 separate drains, 5 on each wing tank and 2 at the bottom of the cowling. Although the weight of the aircraft is 3,100 pounds, speed-wise the normally aspirated model is respectable, cruising at just under 140 knots on 16 to 17 GPH. The Cessna 182 is an all-metal aircraft, although some parts, such as the engine cowling, nose bowl, and wingtips, are made of fiberglass or thermoplastic material. Its wing has the same platform as the smaller Cessna 172. The Cessna 182 Skylane can take off and land on extremely short runways. This gives you great flexibility in choosing your destination, because almost anywhere in the world there will be a suitable small airport close by. During the flight you can relax in your leather seat and enjoy the view from the large viewing windows. There is a luggage compartment behind the last row of seats, so you can also take small luggage items on board. Cessna 182 Skylane is reputable and has earned respect from everyone. Its speed, climb, payload, and reliability make it an all-rounder and an excellent performer. Cessna 182 holds an incredible safety record dating back to its original production in 1956. The Cessna 182 has an accident fatality rate of 1.8 per 100,000 people. Furthermore, when accidents do occur in the Cessna 182 Skylane, 80% of the time they are found to be pilot errors, with only 20% being related to mechanical problems or other factors. The Cessna 182 is an absolute dream for any pilot to fly. It is heavy enough to withstand serious turbulence, while also feels light enough on the controls to provide an easy transition from the air to the ground. The airplane's impressive static stability allows it to remain straight and level even when wind gusts and turbulence push it around, leading to a smoother ride for passengers and an easier flying experience for the pilot. This is the reason why students love to use the Cessna 182 Skylane to learn. It expands their horizons, finds new challenges, and makes their training a whole lot of fun. To conclude, we can say that Skylanes are one of the best aircraft that will always be loved by their customers. Being the jack of all trades, 182 will continue to attract the aviators. So this is it for today's video. Hope you guys loved the video. Click the links to check out some of our other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. We have many great videos coming up. See you in the next video.